Hi, today we want to go over the if statement. So what I have here is some students, and I have a final exam, homework, quizzes. Then what we've done is over here, for the total points that people get, we've used the sum function to sum up this column. We could have used either auto sum or actually used the sum function. Now what I need to do is do the grade. Now with the grade, there are a couple of ways we can do it, but we want to use the if function, so we go here to function, or we can go to formulas. And in formulas, we could go to logical. And in logical, we have if. In this, then we have the logical test. Now, if we look at the logical test in this case is, does this column, C2, is that greater than 929 points? In other words, 93% would be an A. If it is true, I'm going to put in an A. We have to make that a literal, so we use the double quote mark, A, double quote mark. If it is not an A, for right now, we're going to put in nothing. Okay? So when we do that, we click OK, and it shows an A. Since I made this a relative address, I can copy it down here, and you'll see nothing shows up in all of these other spots. So that's kind of a problem, because I'd like to have more grades than just an A. Well, one of the powers with the functions that we have in Excel is if I click here on the function, it can bring up the logical test, or I can go directly here to do that. Let's go instead right here directly to this function. Now, in this function, we see it here. We also see it in the cell, but we can't quite view it. So if I expand this way over here for a moment, wrong one, sorry. If we expand B way over here and click on it, we see the cell. If I click in it, the cell now appears here. This is a little bigger for you to see. Let's make it a little bigger so that we can see it even better. So if I highlight the whole cell, I can go here, home, and change the font. I can't change the font. Okay, so we'll go here. Now, in here is what is happening if it's false. This is our logical condition. Then there's a comma, then a literal that appears if it is true. It says here, value if true. Here is what happens if it's false. One of the powerful things about Excel is you can put in this false or in the true spot another formula. So if I wanted to, I could type in another if, and then your formulas always are followed by a parent, and then I could have another condition. I could say C2, and now I could say greater than 899. I'm again comparing for a number, and then I can put comma, and then I can put double quotes, A minus, double quotes, close parent, and now you'll notice there's two closed parents here because I'm closing this one and I'm closing this one. If I now, and then, I'm sorry, this also needs another comma, and then what happens if it's not an A minus? So then I can even do another if. I could say if, and put another parent, and then I could say C2, and because we don't want to drag this way out today, I'm going to put greater than 799, and that I'm going to say comma is going to be a double quote mark, B, double quote mark. Otherwise, we do still need to have a couple more. So what do we do if it's not equal to an A, not equal to an A minus, not equal to B? Then we want to say if it, parenthesis, C2 again, is greater than 699. And if it's greater than 699, we're going to put in a double quote mark for literal C, double quote mark. Else, and in this case, what I've decided is I'm not going to give any D's, so I'm just going to put double quote mark F, double quote mark. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 opening quote marks. I should have 4 closing quote marks. Somehow I only have 2, so I need to make sure those balance. Now if I hit enter, this should work. Still gives me the A. I pull it down, and we see a B, a B, a B, a C, a B, and A minus. Let's move this back and see now if this person, let's take this person, didn't show up for the final exam. Now they flunked. This person only got 100 on the final exam. They flunked. Maybe they got 200, not 100. Now they've got a C. My grade automatically changes. Well, now that was how you compare a number. Over here, let's do an if. Same thing. So I can click here and click on if. Okay. And this time what I want to do is see if the grade is equal to double quote marks, again for a literal, A, double quote marks. Then what I want to do, comma, if that's true, I want to say great job. Maybe I'm going to put this in a letter or something, but this is the comment I want to make. Great job. Keep up the great work. Period. And double quote mark. Now, what if it isn't an A? Maybe it is an A minus. So I could say, again, if, open parenthesis. So this is the, if it's not true. If it, again, the cell, equals, and this time I'm going to look for an A minus, then I'm going to say, comma, and here, because I don't want to type a lot, I'm going to copy this, just these words that I have here, and go over here and paste them in. But I don't want to say quite the same thing, so I'm going to modify it to well, I'm sorry, I somehow copied the wrong thing here. Let me pause the video while I clear up this copy error. So, continuing, we've now put in here if B equals, and this was supposed to be A minus, then I'm going to put in good job, keep up the good work. Okay, and then I'm going to put a comma in, and then I'm going to do another if statement. I'll put in again here, if that one's negative, if, and so now we're at a B, and maybe I'll do the same comment for a B. Good job, keep up the good work, an A minus or B. So I can copy that. So I'm going to say if, open parentheses, again, B2 equals, and then this time it's a B, then a comma, Control V. Again, I've got good job, keep up the good work, and it should have quotes around it, and I missed the opening quote to make it a literal. Now I need one more comparison. If it's not an A, it's not an A minus, it's not a B, it could be a C or an F. So again, I'll say if, open parentheses, again for an if statement. What am I comparing? The grade. What am I comparing it to? Being equal to, quote marks, C, quote marks, comma. And now you're not doing a great job. You're not really doing a good job. You're doing okay. So maybe I'm going to say you're passing the course, quote marks. And now if you don't have an A, you don't have an A minus, you don't have a B, you don't have a C, you're flunking. So I'm going to put another comma, and this time for my negative, I don't need another if statement. I'm going to have quote mark, and I'm going to say you are not passing this course and need to work harder. Period, quote marks. And then again I look and I had 1, 2, 3, if we go further, 4, I had 5, I believe it was, opening parentheses. So I need 5 closing parentheses. Hopefully I counted right. We'll see. Okay. No, it says you didn't count right. You only need 4. Do you want me to correct it? Sure. Thank you very much. So, first person says, great job. Keep up the good work, because they got an A. Second person says, good job. Good job. They got B's. You're passing, C. You're not passing, F. I needed to check my spelling here. Again, good job, good job. So on here, I have a spelling error. I could go to review and check my spelling, and it will show everything I've got that is a spelling error. I can ignore it. I can check the whole sheet, ignore. Not sure why that didn't catch that. Should have caught that, but it must not catch it there, so I need to go over here and change my need to need. Now I have everything correct. So what I'm showing you here is how to do an if statement with a number, and we showed how to embed it to get them 4 deep. You can go as deep as you want, as complex as you want, anything you want to do there. What we'll do later on in the course is show you another way to do this that is much simpler, and you can do it 10, 20, 30 deep as far as you want. It's called a VLOOKUP. So right now we learned this for the number, this for the letter, and what we will learn later on in the course is how to do the VLOOKUP. Thank you very much for learning the if. Have a great day.